This video is going to piss off half the electricians on social media. Watch this. I'm putting 14 gauge wire on a 30 amp breaker and it's completely code compliant. Check this out. You see, a lot of folks were taught that 14 gauge wire can't exceed 15 amps, 12 gauge wire can't exceed 20 amps, and 10 gauge wire can't exceed 30 amps. And 9 times out of 10, you're absolutely right. That's the small conductor rule in 240.4D. But if you bust the code book out and read the parent text in 240.4D, it says, unless specifically permitted in 240.4E, which is tap conductors, or G, which is what we're talking about, the overcurrent protection shall not exceed that required by D1 through D7. If you take a look at table 240.4G, it gives you an entire list of applications where we can disregard the small conductor rule. One of which is electric welder circuits, and it's going to redirect us to Article 630. And the code that I'm specifically referencing is 630.11a and 630.12b. 630.11a says the ampacity of the supply conductor shall not be less than the I1 efficiency value on the rating plate, and 630.12b says conductors that supply one or more welders shall be protected by an overcurrent device rated set at not more than 200% of the conductor ampacity. Check this out. So I just picked up this big bitch on TikTok Shop. It's the Arc Captain MiG 200 and it's an absolute hog. Aside from the fact that TikTok Shop has rules for free samples and I have to feature this in a video, otherwise I get demonetized, I wanted to show this in a video because it's a perfect example of one of the reasons that we can disregard the small conductor rule in 240.4D. So right here's the nameplate on the back. It is dual voltage rated, but I am going to run a 240 volt circuit. And right there's my I1 efficiency value, 13.9 amps. So I'm going to size my conductors based off of that, so 14 gauge copper. And I already showed you the code reference for sizing the overcurrent protection device. It cannot exceed 200% of the conductor ampacity. 200% of 15 amps is 30 amps. Wait, you can never put 14 gauge wires on a 30 amp breaker. That's a huge fire hazard. Wrong. The welder's only pulling 13.9 amps, and even if we did overload the circuit, it has built-in overload protection. The reason we upsize the breaker is to count for inrush current. Anyways, hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. All joking aside, if you're looking for a good welding machine, I have to say I am absolutely blown away by this thing's performance. If you want to snag one for yourself, click that link right there down below. And as always, if you have any more questions, you can always DM me or drop it down in the comments below.